Good morning. It is Friday, May the 22nd. I'm Rachel Witt, our programming coordinator, Westminster Village, West Lafayette, Indiana. We're here today for another episode of Friday in the Studios, at home. Our theme is circles, and watch out, I'm fresh off of 3 days of vacation. It's going to be a fun one. Let's get started. So circles may seem like a little bit of an odd subject. I understand. But it's remarkable as you start to dive into it how much circles, that basic shape, play a part in art history, in art making in general. I think we'll have a little fun with it this week. But I want to start off by showing you this little homework assignment. This is something you don't have to return to me, or you can if you want to, but it's essentially a doodle prompt sheet. There are 20 little round circles, and the idea is to be creative. Turn each circle into something unique and different. This is just a pen or pencil in a few minutes time, but it's a great cognitive activity. It's a great exercise to keep you fresh. It's a great little creative boost. So even if you don't love the circle, you might love how you feel after you do the circle. So those will be coming out with all of the art kits this week, just as an attachment. And if you would just like the paper, let me know. I'll just send you the paper. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at what's on the internet this week. Time for art on the internet. We've got a couple of interesting ones today. First things first, we're going to take a look at the Guggenheim. But because you can't really talk about circle art, I don't think, without talking about Kandinsky, whose name I hopefully didn't just butcher. I don't think I did. So one of the larger collections of his work, he of course is a Russian artist, and has some really interesting uses of circles and those forms and shapes in his work. And Guggenheim has a really nice collection of those. They're also a neat physical facility. They have that kind of big ocular staircase, really some neat architecture in there as well. But I've put up a link here for the Guggenheim, and you'll notice that it says /artwork /artist. Their website, they have a remarkable online resource, but it's kind of a little bit of a rabbit hole. You could get down into it and be there for a while. So I've tried to send you to the page on here that I think is the most interesting in terms of searching and looking specifically at art. Feel free, however, to go to the main homepage for the Guggenheim and just do a bit of digging about. There's all kinds of good stuff up there, little video snips and that type of thing. But if you go to what I've put the link here to the artwork or the collection online, this is a search function, and you will see that there's just in alphabetical order list on list on list of artists. And if you click on any of them, so let me scroll down here and grab Kandinsky. So it starts here with a little 3-paragraph bio. Sometimes I think it's, well, always actually, I think it's a great idea to get a little bit of an idea of where an artist is coming from, what kind of time frame and society they lived in, and other influences on their art making. So the Guggenheim does a nice job of giving a little bit about each artist. Not a book, but a little bit. And then if you continue to scroll down, they have a digital version of every piece of art they have in their collection for all of the particular artists. So if I click on, well, here's one, Around the Circle. That goes with our theme. If I click on that particular piece of art, it brings it up larger on the screen, and it gives you just some basics about it. How large it is, which is always interesting. What medium, who has owned it previously, where and when it was made. Some of them have more arts information, more about the piece than others. This one doesn't have a whole lot, but it really is a great way to kind of just look at art. Very simply organized, very cleanly laid out and easy to read. I think you're going to enjoy it. All right, so we're going to move on. The other one I'm going to give you this week to take a look at is the Pace Gallery. Now, Pace actually has 10 different gallery locations, which I find to be interesting. But they have them all around the world. And one artist that they have a very large collection of is Alexander Calder. Alexander Calder, of course, is really known for those big mobiles, if you've ever seen any of those, but he actually did a lot of work with spheres, a lot of work with circles, a very prevalent motif and theme in his artwork. Really interesting work. So if you go to this URL, and I've given you artist Alexander Calder specifically, they do a really beautiful job of walking you through his life in order. Which I really think is an interesting way to look at him. And they take you from where he started. He did a series of animal drawings, and then he moved on to wire sculpture, and particularly did some fascinating portraits. And of course, in all of that, you're working with balance and practicing materials. He's moved on to different sculptures, mobiles. I think you're really going to enjoy his work. There's some painting in there. There's some big stuff. There's some small stuff. There's circles galore. So perhaps consider going to the Pace Gallery and take a look at their Alexander Calder collection. You'll be chock full of circles by the end of it, I promise. All right, so we're going to move on. I've bumped Jokes with John up in the order this week because, well, why not? Here you go. All right, welcome back for another episode of Jokes with John. With John and Fern, and Frances is also joined us today. She's feeling very relaxed. They say to never do video with animals and children, so I'm killing it right now. Okay, John, we're jokes about circles this week. What do you got for me?
All right. Okay, so Bob, I gotta tell you something.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, here's the thing. I can deal with radiance.
Yeah.
I can deal with sine.
Okay.
I can deal with cosine. I can deal with tangent, whatever. But graphing is where I draw the line.
Nice. It's his cheat sheet he's throwing out. You know your jokes. You're set?
Yes.
Okay. That's a pretty good one, John. Okay, give me the second one. Come on.
All right. So, how do you make a crop circle?
I don't know how.
With a protractor.
Okay. Another episode of Jokes with John.
With John.
So what's new in the studio? Well, there's something kind of odd new in the studio today, and I just want to fill you in on it. We are Westminster, thanks to some coordination between Life Enrichment and marketing. We're participating in the Caravan of Care. And I don't understand it entirely, other than I know that a lot of different facilities are getting together and they're kind of touring. They're doing an outside, bus tour to different facilities. It was scheduled to happen last Tuesday, so earlier this week, I guess it's Friday. Earlier this week. See what happens when you take a couple days vacation, you're just shot. You don't know what day of the week it is. But one of the things that they asked me to do is if I could help decorate the bus. So I want to give you behind the scenes, a sneak peek. Nobody else has really seen this yet. And I want to tell you that my children, I've asked them a lot of things over the years, like, oh, could you hold this or help me with that or whatever. But I have never before asked my children help me make a, ta-da! Oh, wait for it, it's big. I know, I just look like I'm holding up a giant sheet to you right now, don't I? This mess of plastic, can you guess what it is? It's got ties on one side. Oh, good gravy. That's right. It's a face mask for the Westminster bus. That little bit of fun happened on my dining room table this week while I was off. And I just cannot remember the last time I've laughed so hard with my children. But Westminster bus has now got a face mask, along with some really sweet big decals. They say we are all in this together. There you have it. So it was supposed to happen, like I said, on Tuesday, and then of course with the weather being so rainy on Tuesday, it got bumped to next Tuesday. So be sure and watch out there. And I really, I know it's going to be fun and encouraging, and I think it's a really neat idea to go around to communities like ours and provide encouragement. And well, safety first. I've got to figure out how to vent the mask so I don't overheat the bus. That's up next on my agenda. If anybody's got any ideas, let me know. All right, so let's make art. It's time. All right, here we are, our project number 1 with number 1 special guest. I have Jeanette here. Jeanette is our, what is your title? Wellness nurse?
Wellness nurse.
Wellness nurse. What does a wellness nurse do?
Wellness nurse comes and takes care of people whenever they need anything.
And today I needed something. I needed somebody to make art with. So there you have it. Okay.
And here I am.
And there she is. Okay, so here's what we're doing. We are doing alcohol ink coasters. Okay, so here are the first things you're gonna get. First things first, you know you always get an art towel. So spread out your art towel.
Because we don't want stains.
No stains, especially not in the wellness nurse office. That's a bad idea. Okay, so other things that you're gonna receive, you're gonna recognize some of these items. This one, that would be a coffee can lid. Recycling, you get to recycle. These are just some little paper towel circles. We'll stick those down in. And this is a leather circle. It's great for coasters. Leather is great for coaster because it's really, really soft on your table, but they're still really, they maintain their absorbency. And what we're gonna do today, not gonna mess up the absorbency.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, so first things first, this is how I thought of Jeanette. I thought of Jeanette because rubbing alcohol. I don't know why. Nurses, they bring to mind alcohol to me. I might have been traumatized by childhood shots. So this is just clear, straight alcohol in a brush. And what you want to do, Jeanette, is just coat that whole thing. Get it all wet.
Not drinking alcohol.
No, don't drink this. So you can see as she's brushing it on, it kind of changes the color of it. Don't worry about it. It can be streaky or whatever. She's just trying to get a little base of alcohol in here to make the ink spread around a little bit better. You just want to really saturate it. Don't be shy. Now, I need to tell you a little secret. These smell kind of bad for a couple days.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because the alcohol smells bad.
Right. Exactly. So if you're working on this and you're like, wow, this one stinks, Rachel, you need to come get it pretty quick. There we go. So see there, it's all kind of more an even coat. And the surface looks like the alcohol's puddling a little bit.
And even with my mask, I can smell the alcohol.
Yeah.
So it's going to smell.
It's going to smell. All right. So I've got, yes, do this in a well-ventilated area. Okay. So I brought you purple and green. I hope those colors are okay.
Those will work fine.
Okay, so you have alcohol ink you're going to get in a little tub from me. Now remember, alcohol ink will stain you. If you get some on your hands, though, you can just use a paper towel and put the plain alcohol and clean it off. As long as you do not have any open cuts on your hands, that will be an unpleasant experience.
Oh.
Okay. So dip the brush in and just kind of daub some color on there. Yeah, just kind of, you can splatter it, drip it, yep, brush it, go for it. And it'll cut, oh, you want to, there you go. She's wiping her brush off on the towel. And then she's going to come in with the other color. Okay.
I like purple.
The purple's good. Now, and it's going to continue to absorb. So now you can come in and pick up a little bit of clear if you'd like and kind of get it, just dribble it on there too. And what happens is, there you go. See how that alcohol, it kind of makes a mottled texture on the surface of it. Now, right now it's wet, so as it dries, see, this is what she's doing. It's perfect. She's doing a little dib, a little dab, a little, that's what you want to do.
Just a little all over.
As it dries, this color is going to lighten up because the leather will no longer be wet. So everything will evaporate out and you'll just be left with the pigment behind. But that does take,
There.
do you need more?
No.
Okay.
No, I like there. It's turning lighter.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Okay, so here we go. Next step. So you have to pretend I'm like Julia Child, you know, with the roast that's fully cooked in the oven. I'm just going to... Ta-da! Okay. So 2 days have elapsed, and I have got this here, and it's sitting. See how much stained through on my paper towel. But now I've got this disc. See the gold? I like the gold.
That is
You
fun.
like the gold. Okay, so
Yes.
this is step 2.
Some brightness of it.
Yeah, so what I did is I took a bit of this adhesive, and this is a special kind of liquid foil adhesive, and you dab it on. I dabbed it just around the outside edge. You could do the whole thing if you wanted to be
Okay.
fancy. But what you're going to do now is take this kind of great paper, see, silver on one side, gold on the
Is
other.
that how you got the gold?
Yeah.
Ah!
All right, so I'm going to put it down so they can all see, and you're going to put it down on top all around, and then you're just going to use the end of the paintbrush and rub it. And it's going to transfer the gold. There's a little
I
bit.
didn't rub it hard enough.
Yeah, you got to rub. Give it a good scrubby dub. You're going to rub it, and it's going to transfer that foil everywhere there's adhesive, which is really just around the outside edge. I was being fancy with mine. There you
There
go.
you
Lift
go.
that off. See how that gold transfers?
There we go. Of course, Rachel's is much better than mine.
Oh no! So I use a flatter thing. So what's cool about that is, if you look at how that's done, you could sign your name, you could put some decorative detail, or you could be more abstract about it, like I was here. So it takes. This is the best part about this deal is you can return it to me if you want, and I'll touch it up. But you don't have to. You could just keep it and commence use or gift. We haven't done coasters for the bazaar for a while. I think they'll be popular.
Yeah?
Do you have a coaster? Do you have coasters in your house?
Yes, all over. All over.
Yeah. I'm not a coaster person anymore.
No?
No,
Just,
after the-
just get rings on your tables.
After the third child, I didn't have
Yeah.
any furniture that was worth protecting. So maybe
You
when
kinda
they all
learned
move
that, I
out,
think.
I'll be ready for a coaster again. All right. Jeanette, this was okay, right?
Yep.
All
this
right.
was easy.
Yeah,
Easy.
that's easy. I want easy. Okay, so when you get this set, what you're going to get are 2 of the coasters, and you're going to get an assortment of different colors. I have lots of different colors of this foil. So I have
Rainbow.
and red, a lot of good selection of that. So you're going to kind of get this assortment pack, and I would invite you to have just a little bit of fun on a circle.
Yay.
Thanks, Jeanette.
Super fun.
She's awesome.
Yes.
Alrighty, project number 2. So again, more odd materials. I'll walk you through them. This is a poured art project. Poured art is super, super popular right now. You can look it up on the internet, and there are thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are dumping paint onto art, and papers and boards, usually boards, all kinds of things. And we've done it here in the studio a couple times and had a great time with it. But if you have done that with me, you know, well, it's not the cleanest of activities that we've ever done. So, I'm not deterred, however. I have figured out a way. There's a magic tool we can use to make poured art a little bit more accessible in your homes. Ta-da! Petri dishes. I had a great donation of Petri dishes some time ago, and I've used them for various projects. I was super excited to figure out a way to do poured art in these. So this will contain the mess. Other things you'll get in your kit, of course, you're going to get your art towel. You're going to get tubs of paint. So this one is, it is tempera paint, like you probably used. Your children used when they were young, classroom paint. The difference is this is mixed with a gloss medium, so it dries, almost looks like enamel, and it swirls. It's really nice. It's got a great viscosity for poured art. it's usually not used for port art because it's not super permanent. So I could take my finished piece of art and soak it in a tub, and this paint would just soak right off. But that makes it great for cleanup in case there's any potential messes. It will not stain your hands. It shouldn't stain your clothes. This activity is really about enjoying the process of it. I do want you to return your circles to me, but my plan is to actually arrange them in a neat pattern and take some photographs of them to use as a backdrop. So I'm pretty excited about the project. This is one that you can do, just send back to me. You'll never have to see it again, other than you will get a picture from me of it. I can talk about what you did. But this is what you'll end up with, and actually you're gonna end up with two, because I'm sending you enough materials so that you can do both the bottom and the top. You know, we all know, typically we do one project and then we think, oh, I could have done it so much better if I'd only known. So today it's not only circles, but it's me giving you doubles and opportunities to play a little bit with the paint and the materials before you make a commitment to them. So you'll get your Petri dish lids, and you'll also get cups of this paint. Now, I don't have a huge color selection of it. I have red, yellow, and blue, which, as you know, those primary colors can be mixed into all different varieties of colors. So have a good time and play with color mixing if you'd like to. You might also get silver or black from me. Actually, I probably will send everyone all 5, and then you can play with them. So I'm going to tip my screen down, so hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to be better about making that happen. It's not always simple. Turns out I don't have 3 hands. So you start by just pouring a bit in, and you can pour it in however you like. I'm going to kind of do like a bullseye pattern on mine just for fun, just to see what happens. There we go. Maybe I'll come in and do a bit more yellow there in the middle. But you do want to do all of this on the art towel. And then if you have any little drips or spills, why, you just pick those right up. Now, you can at that point just tip and lean your paint around until you get some neat designs that you like. Or another option, I'm gonna send you with the pointy stick. Another option is to come in and draw them out. Isn't that fun? You can have a good time kind of playing with your finish on this. I got a neat star pattern going here. So this entire activity it's almost kind of meditative in nature. It's play, it's art play, and lets you be a little bit goofy with it. I'm going to tip it around a little bit more and just see what happens. It's like a lava lamp. I would say it's like a lava lamp. And I like a little more yellow in there, so I think what I'm going to do is just come in and fill some around the edges. There we go. So you can try and be really precise with it in this way, as I'm being here. Or I might just shake it a little bit too. We want to get all the plastic cover. That's what we're going for. But you should know, well, there I've kind of made a little flower. It's almost dahlia worthy. But see, I've played around with it a little bit, and I'll continue to play. And here's the thing, you're not, oh, look at that, that's fun. You're really not gonna make something ugly. I always like art projects like that. Oh, I think I'm happy with it now. I'll leave that alone. You're not really gonna make something ugly. And even if you do, and the first one is just like, whoo, I'm not sure about that, everything turned brown. Well, that's why you've got 2. So you can play around with it. Hopefully it's relaxing. And just a little bit of color play. Leave it off to the side. It usually takes about 24 hours to dry. So you can just leave it sitting somewhere undisturbed. Let me know. I'll come get it. And then I'll have a whole bouquet of beautiful art. So where did this idea come from? There's an artist. I'm putting her up on the screen right now. She did art in a Petri dish every day for a year. Think about that. Every single day for a year, art in a Petri dish. But look at the artwork. Aren't these fun? I think they're really interesting. And what a great kind of habit. I can't think of anything I've done every single day for 365 days. Well, that's not true. Definitely brush my teeth every day. But I think it is, it's a great bit of fun. It's a great bit of inspiration. And I hope you enjoy the project. And we're going to move on. Ooh, wait, 3. Project number 3. We're going to move on to that next. Alrighty, project number 3, last but not least. So this is a mandala project, and you might question initially what you would do with this end result. Mandalas, of course, are kind of the Hindu background. They're intended as an aid for focus and meditation, but they've become kind of wildly popular in recent years. So they make for a very, well, you're trendy when you have one of these type of projects going on. But they are actually really meditative. They can be very calming to kind of go through and paint and look and focus on filling in little spaces. It's hard to mess them up, which that means I like them. But I promised you that you could also test and practice. So look at that. You have the back side of the wood disc, so you can try out all your colors on the back and then turn it over and do it how you'd like on the front. So what you'll receive with this project is a round board like this, and you can tell that I've sprayed a mandala pattern onto the surface of it, and I have many different patterns, I think 10 or 11 different patterns. And so I've sprayed them on with a silver spray paint that also kind of resists because of the metallic fleck. So it makes it nice to work with. I'll try and give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna point my projects everywhere here. You'll get this board, and what we're using as our color is the silk dye. I like the vibrancy of the silk dye, and it also kind of permanently stains the wood. So when I come in later after you return it to me and seal it, you're gonna get a really nice finished even shine on it and persistent color. So this would be great for kind of a rigid centerpiece. It's a great thing. Perhaps you'd put a vase and your salt and your pepper or that type of thing on this. And what you've got here, I'm just gonna come in and paint. And you can see how that paint is kind of resisting it. And so you'll use your art towel then to blot off all the extra. I'm doing this upside down and backwards, so please forgive me if my accuracy is a little off. There we go. Okay, and try and fill that space in. And you can just come in and kind of keep wiping that away to keep it off of the silver. And these colors blend really nicely as well. So I'm gonna pick up now, I've got a bit of the yellow, and you can tell I did a bit of yellow just around the edge there. But I can come in, I just can't do that. I can come in and kind of blend that in. And it'll even blend fine up here in the wood, and you can layer colors on. So I want to show you what that looks like. I just blotted off my extra. Ooh, brush down. Okay. And now I'm just going to come right in over that. And what happens is that red, kind of orangey, tomato-y color, I like to think of it as, it kind of mixes with that yellow a little bit. You get some really neat concentrated colors. See how that's kind of blending down there. So this is guaranteed relaxing. You're just gonna sit down, paint away. If you don't like an area, you can always kind of blot it off and then layer another color on top of it. So this board will come out with a full set of colors. And again, you can practice on the back. So you'll return that one to me. That might be one that you want to keep. It'd be nice on a little, if you're in a cottage or on a hybrid, it'd be a nice little thing to have on the patio space that you have in the house. It'd be great. Or you can return it to me and I'll seal those up, and those will go out as a bazaar item. I think they'll be quite popular. So that's it, project number 3. So I'm running a little long today. I don't know why or how that is exactly, but I'm determined to get it at 30 minutes. So we're gonna skip FAQ today. I'm so sorry. I don't have a lot of questions right now anyway, so you have to ask your questions. I'll have an extra large FAQ next week. Fred and Barney are fine, there are no problems. And I'm gonna do a little mini show and tell. Just a couple things. So aren't these clever? If any of you are on Facebook, they have a new, they have likes and loves. Well, now they have Facebook Cares. So this is the Cares emoji. And I thought it was very sweet. Shirley did a set of these. She had materials, isn't that great? She asked for some materials from the studios, and she made a set of those as encouragement to her neighbors, which I really appreciate. We all need a little encouragement. And then finally, I'm excited to show you, remember the sunflower quilt? Well, Caroline assembled this. She pieced this whole thing together for me. So, oh, it's upside down. Having that kind of day. Take a look at that. Didn't it turn out beautifully? I'm really delighted with it. So I'll shout out now, it's Jerry and Kay and Ruth Ann and Linda and Francis and Mary who have done these particular sunflowers. And I have 2 more. I think they're going to be a little companion piece for this little baby blanket. But I think I may turn it into like a floor mat type of thing. So that's twice today I've stood up in front of the camera, so sorry. But that brings us to the end of the show today. I hope you enjoyed it. Art kits will be delivering tomorrow on Friday, and I know I've heard from many of you, or I guess today is Friday. Wow. Okay. So art kits will be delivering. I know I've heard from many of you, and I'll be coming in first thing in the morning tomorrow and getting art kits out to you so you can have a great Memorial Day weekend with a little art and craftiness on the side. And as always, thank you. Thanks for being you. Thanks for supporting me, being so supportive of my taking a few days off. I've come back. I'm ready to go. Watch out. Have a great week.